Hello, everyone, and welcome to Molehill Mountain, episode 211. I am Andrew Eisen. Does that name mean anything to you? I mean, if you watch this podcast, it's just me. Otherwise, nah, probably not. So, alright, let me pull up my list of topics here, and let's get to talking topics. Or rather, I'm just going to treat this as Andrew's therapy hour and just rant about everything that caught my attention this week, and chime in the chat when you when you feel when you feel so inclined. All right. Let's talk Monster Hunter, and I've got two parts. Number one, I want to talk about Fatalis a little bit some more. And number two, I want to talk about Monster Hunter the movie. But first, let's talk Fatalis. So I have challenged Fatalis 5 times now, and have fallen each time. Or, uh, actually, usually I just run out of time. Normally, Monster Hunter quests give you 50 minutes. Fatalis gives you 30. Because, I mean, if you can't save the world in 30 minutes, what good are you? It's like, I'm pretty sure I could do it in 38, but no, they want it in a clear 30. So, um, I'm not, where I run out of time is when the Dragonator comes online, right about there. That's that's pretty much where I'm running out of time. Now, if the Dragonator is the final blow that always ends Fatalis, then I'm pretty close. But if that's like the halfway point, oh man, I need to rethink my strategy a bit. Um, Still a fun fight, although I have died twice for seemingly no reason. Um, Most recently in round 5, I was standing behind Fatalis, like behind it and to the right, so near its rear right leg. And I had full health because I was in a safe space, and I thought, okay, health bar's full, what else do I need to do? Because Fatalis was busy breathing fire in the other direction. And I was like, okay, do I need health? No, I'm good. Do I need to sharpen? And then I suddenly dropped over dead. I was like, what? What the hell just killed me? Um, Something like that has happened twice now, so maybe it's a little glitchy. I don't know. It's still a fun fight, and Fatalis is a very cool monster. So I've been thinking about my opening gambit, so to speak. And what I've been doing was fairly obvious. I'm sure most people do something similar. Is there are in the stage where you fight Fatalis, there are some cannons and other um, uh, artillery weapons. So I said, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw in my ghillie mantle, which makes me invisible to the monster. In universe, you have to wonder how that works because you're just throwing on a ghillie suit over your head and then running around, and the monster's looking at you like, that's the most active bush I've ever seen. But it's not a hunter, so hum-de-doo. Um, so I put on my ghillie mantle, I go in, and I load up both cannons that are up on a ledge. Each cannon takes 2 cannonballs, and I make sure I have heavy artillery skill equipped, which doubles the damage of the cannons. Okay, so we've got 5 shots from each cannon, 10 shots total. I think each shot does like, I don't know, 450 damage or something like that. So that's a nice chunk of change right there. So I noticed that as soon as I start firing at Fatalis, he immediately charges at me. So I put 2 mega barrel bombs in front of the ledge so he just runs right into him. There's another, I don't know, 500 damage right there. And then dumping both cannons into his squishy face knocks him over. Okay, so what I had been doing is since I play Charge Blade, which doesn't which you have to attack with a bunch to kind of build up a meter before it does any significant damage. So instead of wailing on its head, which I'd totally be doing if I was using something like the Greatsword, I'd be doing, the true charge slash. I instead tenderize its face, and then when it stands up, I'll use there's a pile of rocks nearby. I just wall bang it into the platform that the cannons are standing on, which is another, I don't know, 15 some hundred damage right there. So I'm starting off with like, 5, 6,000 damage. And I'm thinking, okay, that's pretty good. Can I do better? So I was thinking about this today while I was getting my car serviced because my tire pressure light went on, and I thought, oh, for crying out loud, did I pick up a nail or something? No, no, just low on air, but all my fluids are good, so that's nice. So while I was sitting outside the dealership, I was thinking about Fatalis. I'm thinking, how can I improve this? So here's what I'm thinking for my next for round 6 against Fatalis. Same setup. Hit it with both cannons. Make sure I have heavy artillery. And Matthew says optimization proper end gameplay. Yes. See that this is one of the nice things about Monster Hunter is um, most of the time you can just go in and hit monster with stick until monster die, which is kind of how I play because that's fun. But sometimes the game throws a challenge at you where you really have to start thinking about what you're doing. So here's my plan. Same thing. Gonna get heavy artillery so that I can get double damage on the two cannons. Gonna continue with the tenderizing its head and wall banging it into the platform. Gonna continue with the 2 mega barrel bombs. Here's where I'm thinking of making it even better, though. I'm going to get full bombardier, whatever the skill is. That because when you max out that skill, which I think is level 5 when you get Bombardier Secret, that gives an extra 50% damage to mega barrel bombs. So instead of doing 500, I'd be doing 750 or whatever the actual true damage is. I don't remember off the top of my head. Okay, so if I can get that skill in there, we're going to do a little bit more damage with the barrel bombs. That's good. I was also thinking, while Fatalis is laying on the ground after I hit him with all the cannons, what I'm going to do is start gem in or get an armor set that has a full poison attack and just throw down poison smoke bombs. Fatalis is is only 1-star weakness against poison, so that's why I'm thinking full poison attack. Might take an entire load of poison smoke bombs to proc poison. And then, once I'm done poisoning, then tenderize, wall bang. Also have full part breaker on my set to, because I have yet to break that son of a gun's head, mainly because he's very tall. It's hard to get at his head. So that's my new plan. I haven't actually turned on the game to start browsing my equipment and putting together an armor set. So what I'm thinking is probably I'm going to make an armor set specifically for that. So full bombardier, full part breaker, full heavy artillery, full poison attack, and I'll just farcaster back. I calculated that I did some napkin math, and I'm thinking that's probably around like 8,000. And that's and that's maybe 2 minutes, 8,000 damage. That's pretty good. Farcaster back to camp, put on my regular damage set, head on back. Oh, also, I gemmed it. I happen to have a hard fire resistance jewel, which gives me all 3 levels of fire resistance. That's actually really nice because you very rarely, if ever, catch on fire, and Fatalis breathes fire a lot. So it just less time rolling the fire out. Although there are a lot of puddles in this stage, so it's not that big a deal. But every little bit helps. I was also thinking, you know what I want to try? I should try the guard up skill. The guard up skill, I play a weapon that has a shield on it, and the guard up skill allows you to block attacks that are usually unblockable. So like most of Fatalis's fireballs and fire breath attacks, if I can block those attacks instead of having to put my equipment away and Superman dive out of the way or running around behind it or something, that would actually be very helpful. So I go into my decorations and I go, huh, I've been playing this for how many hundreds of hours and I've somehow never gotten a shield jewel. No wonder I never use that skill. I don't have the damn thing. I've never gotten that damn jewel to drop, and it's not really a particularly high rarity jewel. It's a 2 slot gem. So 8K over 2 minutes, 66 DPS. Yay. That's I don't know what's considered good for Monster Hunter World, but 66 DPS seems low. I don't know. It probably depends on your weapon and because the thing is I don't have to worry about weird things like motion values or hit zones and stuff because uh, mega barrel bomb or any of the bombs, wall bangs, cannons, they do a fixed amount of damage. So it's not like you hit it in the head with the cannon. You hit it in the head with the cannon or hit it in the tail of the cannon, it does a flat amount of damage. So that's nice. I don't have to worry about specifically hitting it in the face. Once that opening gambit is done, I have to focus on either the head or the chest. And it stands upright on its haunches a lot, which is a kind of a pain in the butt. Anyway, I can, due to the most recent update of the game, or at least one of the most recent updates, added the ability to craft a couple of jewels, and one of them is, or decorations, and one of them is the shield jewel. It's pretty expensive to make, but I think making one is worth a try, because if Guard Up actually makes most of Fatalis's fire, at least most of Fatalis's attacks, blockable, that's going to be super helpful. That's going to be a lot less time of me putting my sword away, and man, sheathing a charge blade is slow. You see an attack coming, you better put that stuff away and start running, especially if it's not blockable. But I've tried guard pointing the fire attacks, and you just can't block them. So that's something for me to try. Oh, there was another weird thing in round 5 of me fighting Fatalis, where Fatalis spent this time I did not make it to the usual point in the fight where I run out of time, because Fatalis for some reason decided to hang out in the air through a good portion of the battle, and I'm like, doing upswings with my axe, and I can't hit him. So I'm like following it around, clutch clawing to its butt and tenderizing. I'm like, get down out of the. And Fatalis does not seem to give the slightest poo about flash bombs. You throw a flash bomb, it's like it just kind of smirks at you. I have never. I've only fought Fatalis 5 times now, but I have never seen it in the air that many times for that extended period of time. So I don't know what happened there, but I'm sitting there on the ground going, would you come down? I don't have a ranged weapon. I need you to come down here. I, I can't get you. So tenderize the hell out of its tail and feet, though. Although you can clutch claw onto its foot and then climb up to its head and start tenderizing, but that chews through your sharpness something fierce. Anyway, still a fun fight. I'm just not very good, is the problem. I mean, maybe there's something to be said for, well, you managed to last the full half an hour without carting out of the quest, so good on you there. But yeah, I'm just not doing. I'm not sure how far. I could probably look this up if I really wanted to know, but I'm not sure if I'm almost there or if I'm not even close. Because I don't know how much health Fatalis has, nor do I know if the Dragonator coming online is like the end of the fight or the midpoint or what. I don't know. Still a cool dragon. Oh, and it sheds parts like you would not believe. I've fought it 5 times. I've not killed it yet, but it's still shed enough bits for me to make a lovely pair of Fatalis pants. So I actually have 2 Fatalis parts now. I have the pants and the waist. which is pretty nice because they have, if you use the beta form, you get three 4-slot jewels, spaces to put 4-slot jewels, and they have really high defense, and two of those does the Fatalis secret, or what's the skill? Inheritance, I think, where any skill you have automatically unlocks the upper levels. Because there's a lot of things like Agitator or the Bombardier, which have, or Divine Blessing, which has Divine Blessing Secret, which unlocks further levels of that skill. Normally, you need to have like 2 or 3 or 4 parts of a particular set to unlock one skill's extra levels. 2 parts of Fatalis, every single skill is fully unlocked. End game set. So I've not beat it yet, but I'm still having a lot of fun. I'm currently using my I hate this pronunciation, but Alatreon Charge Blade because I looked at my hunter manual, and Fatalis is only weak against a dragon element, and I like Alatreon better. But its Charged Blade is pretty decent attack, pretty decent dragon, so that's what I've been using. Anyway, now let's talk about the Monster Hunter movie. In general, not Monster Hunter specifically, but in general, let's say I, for some reason, was in charge of developing an IP into a feature film, a video game IP or a comic book or a cartoon or whatever into a feature film. All right, so there's a property, it's got a fan base, it makes money, and we're thinking we can use that IP and we can make a movie. Okay, Andrew, we're giving it to you, some goober who sits in his 1-bedroom apartment and yammers about video games. We're giving you lots of money. So, hey, make a movie. What are you going to do? You mean the something not ever worth paying attention to? Matthew, what's the fourth word in there? TGHING? I retype that so I know what you mean. I'm just not figuring out that typo. Okay, so if I have an IP, my general concept for developing an IP for a feature film would be make sure the fans like it and bring in new fans. Because there'd be a cyclical thing here, right? I mean, we've got the name. We paid a lot of good money for this name, which is going to attract people who are already into this thing. Those are the people you don't want to piss off, because that's your guaranteed base. Those are the people you know you're going to get, right? So you want to make sure that whatever IP you're developing is pleasing to the fans, right? But you also want to bring, through the medium of movies, bring in new fans. And the cyclical nature would mean, oh, hey, this new thing is cool. Where's this come from? It's a video game, you say. Well, let me go check out the video game. And then the video game fan base expands, and then you get another movie, and you've got a bigger pool of fan base, on and on and on, and then I make lots of money and become a horrible person. Maybe. I don't know. I hope not. Which brings me back to Monster Hunter the movie. Now, I don't know what episode of this podcast it was, or I don't even know if I said it on the podcast. I'm pretty sure I did. But years ago, I recall them saying, hey, we're making a Monster Hunter movie. And I said, great. I like me some Monster Hunter, and I would not at all mind seeing a good Monster Hunter movie. And I remember, whether it was on the podcast or not, again, pretty sure it was on the podcast. If you want to go uh, listen to 200 episodes of the podcast to try and find it, I thought about Here's what I don't want to see in a Monster Hunter movie. People from the real world fall through a portal of some sort and end up in Monster Hunter land. I remember saying they're probably going to do something incredibly stupid like that. Like you know how Masters of the Universe, the He-Man movie, right? It starts out on Eternia, and then it goes to the real world. Granted, that was probably budgetary reasons, but I mean, come on, Eternia, you were just shooting out in the desert anyway, so um, yeah, that's they keep doing that with established franchises, and fans hate it, and the movie sucks, and nobody likes it, and then you don't make any more. I, it's shooting yourself in the foot sounds painful. Why do you keep doing that purposefully? So I remember saying, "Oh man, Monster Hunter movie could be so cool, but they'll probably do something like, oh, regular Joe falls through a portal and ends up in Monster Hunter land. Oh, fish out of water shenanigans, and oh, they stumble to get home, but oh crap, the Rathalos followed them through, and now we have to use like the the American military is scrambling to fight Rathalos in New York City, but they suck for some reason, so I have to now use a stick to hit Rathalos in the head over and over. You know, the stuff I learned in Monster Hunter Land. So they're doing exactly that with the Monster Hunter movie. Why? Why would you do that? No! 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 I mean, maybe it'll be good. Who the hell knows? But that's the wrong foot forward, in my very humble but inerrant opinion. Um, so Capcom, or actually Sony, is doing the movie. Forget, but they released a 15-second teaser for Monster Hunter, and it's funny because to me it reads like Sony, and if it's not Sony who's producing the movie, someone correct me in the chat. I watched the teaser and I'm like, this feels like it was workshopped specifically to piss off Monster Hunter fans. It's like they focused grouped this and were like, what could we do that would piss off the fan base of this IP? Let's do that. So our 15 seconds shows a bunch of military people, modern, I'm assuming U.S. military, out in the middle of the desert somewhere, and a Diablo or a Black Diablos charges at them, and they're like, "Oh noes, fire big guns at it!" And then Black Diablos, I think, like knocks over their tank or jeep with a mounted cannon on it, whatever it is, the Gatling gun of some sort. Well, Black Diablos looks good. Looks like a Black Diablos. Sounds good. They got that classic high pitched Black Diablos roar. That's so they didn't screw that up. So I mean, it wasn't a matter of like the '98 Roland Emmerich Godzilla movie where they redesigned Godzilla into a completely different beast. No, no. This is Black Diablos. Looks and sounds like Black Diablos. Much higher fidelity in the details, which is to be expected. But still absolutely at a glance, perfectly Black Diablos. So no problem there. But why? Why Are you doing the whole, oh crap, the modern day people fell through a wormhole or something and ended up in Monster Hunter Land? Why? Why? That doesn't make the movie better. That makes it worse, almost certainly. We'll reserve judgment until I've seen the movie. Um, why do that? Why? That's the most obvious, boring, stupid thing you could possibly do. So why do that? It's like, well, golly, Andrew, you're so smart. What should we do instead? Okay, you're going to make a Monster Hunter movie, right? Okay, here's what you do. Make a Monster Hunter movie. That's it. Just make a Monster Hunter movie. You don't need people from the real world falling through a wormhole and landing in Monster Hunter Land. Just tell a story about people who already live there. People live in a town. I mean, what's the basic story of Monster Hunter Tri? You have a bunch of people in Moga Village. There's a bunch of earthquakes happening, and so they hire a hunter from the Hunters Guild to investigate. Turns out it's a really big fish monster that's has a horn that's overgrown its eye and irritating it, so it's like rubbing against the wall in the caves underneath the village and causing earthquakes. And it's like, would you go down there and break the horns off that sucker so it stops rubbing against the wall and causing earthquakes? Because it's going to kill us all. You do something like that. I mean, you don't do exactly that. We already have that story, but you know, you have a bunch of people, you have a monsters getting in the way, you go get the monsters. It you don't need the wormhole to the real world. And if you want to do dragons versus tanks, just do a dragons versus tanks movie. Because I'm pretty sure they're going back through that wormhole and they're going to fight Rathalos or whoever follows them through the wormhole in the middle of New York. And there's going to be helicopters and tanks, and they're like, oh no, that stuff doesn't work. Need to hit it with a stick. I read the paragraph, the sales pitch for the movie, and it's something like military falls through wormhole, ends up in Monster Hunter Land, where their modern weaponry doesn't work against the monsters, so they have to learn the Monster Hunter way of hitting it with sticks. That's stupid. Because there's no magic here other than the Gilly Mantle, I guess. If you had modern weaponry at your disposal, monsters, you would just tear the hell out of monsters. It doesn't make any sense that Black Diablos or whoever is immune to high caliber weaponry. Like, shoot it in the face with a Gatling gun. Oh, it doesn't work. Well, shoot it in the butt with a Gatling gun. It's immune to our bullets and rockets and stuff. And Tony Jaa, the Monster Hunter, comes, I'm going to hit it with a stick. And it works. What? That... No, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, heavy artillery actually exists in Monster Hunter, and it works really well. It's just really hard to use because, cannons only hold so many shots. You have to manually load the damn things, and they're really hard to aim at monsters that don't like holding still, which is why you have to use pitfall traps and stuff. So, it doesn't make it, oh no, it's immune to our modern day guns. We'll have to hit with a stick. Just set it in Monster Hunter World. Stop doing this dumb crap. Did any of you see Detective Pikachu? Detective Pikachu. Detective Pikachu takes place in the world of Pokemon. It's not some modern day real world gamer who falls into his video game system and ends up in the world of Pokemon or some stupid thing like that. No, it just takes place in the world of Pokemon. It's one of the reasons that movie is as good as it is. Not the only reason, not the main reason, but one of. I mean, can you imagine if Tim, Justice Smith's character, was like some gamer in the real world and he fell and he got trapped in his video game cartridge and ended up in the world of Pokemons and he had to find out, had to play the game so he could find his way home. Oh my god, I am annoying myself just saying that. But they didn't do that, 'cause that would be stupid. Well, I haven't seen Monster Hunter, the movie. So, maybe they strike the right balance and it's really good. At the very least, the monster looks and sounds good, so that's something. Lyrically C, hello. So then Monster Hunter movie is a nonsensical version of Cadillac and dinosaurs. Don't know what that's referring to, so I don't know. Oh my god, half an hour I've been complaining about a movie I haven't even seen. Wow. Let's move on, shall we? So NetherRealm, yeah, NetherRealm announced new fighters for Mortal Kombat. Number one, Rain. You know how Scorpion and Sub-Zero were more or less palette swaps of each other? I mean, they were distinct, but pretty much the same character model, just palette swapped. Yeah. You know how in the second one they added Reptile, which was, again, same, distinct in the way it attacks, but is just a green version of the same ninja. And then you know how they kept adding more and more different colored ninjas like Smoke and Noob Saibot and and Rain. I should have said Ermac. Did I get to Ermac? Yeah, there's a bunch of them. Rain is one of them. He's the purple one. So I'm sure he's got fans somewhere. And hey, fans of Rain, Rain's in here, so yippee skippy. Oh, Cadillac and Dinosaur is a comic. Capcom made a beat 'em up for it, and it was a cartoon series in the 90s. Huh. Totally missed that. Neat. Um, also, Melina, who's been in the series since the second game, and she was not in Mortal Kombat 11, but it was part of Kitana, her half sister, kind of, stepsister, adopted sister. It's complicated. She's part of her friendship move. So Katana has a friendship move when they added friendship to the game. Melina runs onto the screen and they play patty cake. It's adorable. Well, Melina is back, and she's got a new character design. And she's a half Tarkatan, the Baraka, big toothy monster man. They changed her design from the last game where they gave her the big toothy maw, but they also gave her lips, real sexy kissable lips. It's like she's still got to be sexy. Well, now she doesn't have lips. She like all the rest of the Tarkatans, she's just face full of teeth. It's a really nice design. I like it. I also just like her general head shape and look. I think she looks cool. I'm also curious to see if they take that character model and replace the one that was previously used in Kitana's friendship. And then the third character added is John Rambo. Sure. Why not? I have no problem with this at all. I actually saw an article somewhere of someone saying, "Oh, it's devaluing the legacy of John Rambo." I'm like, dude, have you seen the sequels? The sequels devalue the legacy of the first movie. It's okay. Yeah, I mean, you can feel the same way. Oh, RoboCop is devalued. It's like, have you seen RoboCop 3? Or, I mean, hell, both Rambo and RoboCop had Saturday morning kids cartoons. True story. So, personally, I mean, if it bothers you, I'm sorry. Personally, it doesn't bother me. I think it's neat. I look forward to seeing more of how John Rambo plays. But I did find something really interesting in a blog post from uh, Dominique Dominic from NetherRealm, who has a last name that I'm not even going to try to pronounce, but a story and voiceover director, who says in the blog post, playing as Rambo is like time traveling back with Chronica to 1982. Our character artists have perfectly captured Rambo's look from First Blood. Except you haven't, because that's absolutely Rambo from Rambo 3. Now, this blog post, I have to imagine, was probably written apart from the teaser trailer. My guess is Rambo, like all the rest of the characters, has many different looks, and there's probably a look that more closely hews to what he looked like in First Blood and in Rambo and First Blood Part 2 and in Rambo 3 and maybe some of the later ones. But the John Rambo that we see in the trailer that NetherRealm released this week, that is absolutely, inarguably Rambo 3 Rambo. I mean, the whole wrap the minigun belt around his arm and that's from Rambo 2, but the black tank top, the red bandana, the big hair, the I'm your worst nightmare. That's Rambo 3. Doesn't matter. I just thought it was funny. I should have probably captured an image there so I could show you, but I did not. Shame on me. All right. But I did capture an image for the next story, and I find this one very interesting. So, Baldur's Gate 3 is in early access right now, and it's a bit of a buggy mess. It's a it's a complicated game, and it's in early access, so this is we expect. And what's the developer? Starts with an L. Where are you? I don't know. Whatever their name is. They released yet another hotfix, talking about okay, it works with the graphics card, it does other things here, but there was a really funny section in the middle here. They said, and I'm quoting from the blog post, let's share something you've created yourselves. This is your fault. Through your choices in character creation. We took the most popular choices in character creation and recreated this. We thought our analytics system wasn't working. We checked. It is. You players on average seem to be just playing as really boring white dudes. They go on to say, congratulations, you've basically made the default vault dweller. What the hell, guys? We gave you demon eyes, horns, even tails. We are disappointed. Go crazy. We worked hard on this. Yeah. Now, I yeah, that is a bland ass hero right there. I mean, you can play as elves and halflings and I don't know if you can play Dragonborn or whatever, but you can play it like 6 to 8 different character races, and you can see some of the color bar on the right. You can have pink skin. You can do all kinds of stuff. But apparently, according to them, most people are just going with the blandest ass character you could possibly like a character on a like the lead of a CW show or something like that. Oh man. Now I have to wonder: is this just the default character that comes up when you first load up the game, and people are just like, yeah, whatever, I want to play? I don't know. Do people just want to play someone that looks like themselves? And most of the people who are playing the early access version of Baldur's Gate 3 are really boring looking white dudes like me. I, I don't know, but that is a pretty bland. I mean, especially because I've looked into the character creator a little bit, and it's fairly robust, and you can do some really neat things with it. But apparently, most people are playing really boring humans. It's like, that's. I would be kind of disappointed to see that too if I were the if I were the developer behind the game. I'd also be curious as to when the character creator first comes up, what is shown. You know, if anything, maybe nothing's shown. You have to actually pick something. Maybe part of the early access experience would be to randomize the initial character, or maybe start with a goblin and see if people are more inclined to play goblins, if that's what the default character is. So, anyway, I thought that was pretty funny. Let's see. So, have you seen the PS5? It's really big, or this guy's really small, or combination of the two. But holy biscuits, that is a beefy console right there. Look at the size of that. Man, you're gonna if you have cats, you're gonna want to keep that thing on the floor, because if that falls off, that could kill a small dog if it falls off your entertainment system. That is a large console right there. Um, so Sony uh, produced a 7 or 8 minute teardown of the console, where this guy very calmly and very politely, I think even by Japanese standards, takes this thing apart, just to show you what the innards are. Anything notable? Well, the side panels, the let me put the image back up. The white panels on the side, those are removable. You can take those off yourself. So custom panels, woo, different colors, yay, maybe. And the reason you do that is to vacuum out dust. There's dust catch holes that you could just suck dust out of. I would, like with a hose attachment to a vacuum, I wouldn't like put your face up against there and ugh, that'd be terrible. Uh, there's an expansion port if it's ever used to get in there, so if that's why you would take the panels off. It's got a massive ass heat sink, which is pretty fun to look at. But really, what my favorite part of this thing is the stand. If you look at it, tip, 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 you see the little stand that it's sitting on? There's actually a screw that holds the console in place so that it doesn't slip off or topple over. And my first thought was, oh man, I have to unscrew the thing to put it on its side. That's more effort than I want to put into it. But the base actually has a little cubby hole to put the screw into. So the base kind of twists like this. You twist it one way and a little cubby hole opens. You drop the screw in it. You twist it the other way and the cubby hole closes. So you don't lose the screw. That's pretty slick design. I mean, I'm ashamed it actually uses a screw in the first place, but I really appreciated that touch. So yeah, that's really all I have to say about that. Okay, where are we at now? We are at 15 minutes to go. Okay. So, I saw Spider-Man Enter the Spider-Verse in the theaters, 2 years ago when it came out? Now, the advertising really sold me on it. I was like, oh man, this looks really good. I can't wait to see this. I went to the theater and I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was bad. I didn't dislike it, but I was like, There's a lot I really like about it. I like almost every design and aesthetic detail of it. I like the way it looks, the way it's animated. There are a lot of really smart directorial choices as far as scenes mirroring other scenes and calling back to stuff like that. Um, One really obvious one that everyone brings up all the time is the very popular "What's Up Danger" scene where earlier in the film, Miles falls off a building and goes ah, and the trailing ah, follows him down. In the "What's Up Danger" sequence, he doesn't fall, he rises, and he goes wahoo, and the wahoo dialogue goes up. I'm like, that's good. Well done, directors. That's very nice. So there's a lot of great stuff like that in it. It's damn funny. It's very touching when it wants to be. But overall, it just didn't work for me. There were a couple theme and there were a couple textual things that did not resonate with me, and kind of pulled me out of the movie and left me kind of ho hum about it. I didn't come away as excited as I was hoping. I came away going, that's all right. And then I got home and I started reading the internets, and people were losing their poops over this movie. And to this day, I still occasionally see people on social media going, "Oh my God, Spider-Man, Enter the Spider-Verse." I don't know if they're doing it with that voice, but that's the voice I'm using. It's like the best superhero movie ever. Like the best Spider-Man movie ever. Everyone likes this movie more than I do. And it annoys me because I want to like it as much as everyone else does. I really want to share in that absolute joy that people have for this film. Instead, I'm like, I liked it. It's pretty good. So on Twitter today, I saw Tariq Musa, and I do apologize if I mispronounce that, which I probably did. Says talking about the "What's Up Danger" scene, says, anyway, the greatest scene in film I've ever seen is the "What's Up Danger" scene from Into the Spider-Verse when Miles gets his full powers, collects a suit from Aunt May, and then takes a leap of faith leading to this iconic shot, and it's him falling, well, upwards, but the camera's upside down, so... Anyway, he goes on to say, it's so perfectly shot, paced, scored, performed, I cannot watch it without bursting into tears. And then he goes on to say, here's a beautiful breakdown of that scene from Film Crit Hulk. And he links to a full hour-long verbal essay of why Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse works. And I thought, ooh, I can't wait to watch this because I am quite an admirer of Mr. Crit Hulk's film analysis. Even though Mr. Crit Hulk did assume, based on available evidence, I'm assuming a particular opinion and bland white dude, that I was a racist because I didn't like Attack the Block. And that hurt my fragile little feelings. And I'll admit, still a little salty about that, but eh, you know. I mean, when you have a dude who looks like me espousing the opinion that I espoused, it's a red flag, I'll admit it. You, most of the time you're probably going to be right that this guy saying that thing is probably just racist. Wasn't in this case, unless I've got some really deep-seated unexamined biases I'm not aware of. Um, but so it goes. Anyway, I very much I actually watched it this afternoon. Looked forward to Film Crit Hulk's analysis of Into the Spider-Verse. To see what his perspective on the various things that didn't work for me was. And, nah, it still don't work for me. Although I will say that you see what's interesting is most people, or rather, many people cite the "What's Up Danger" scene as one of the just barn burner moments of the film. I don't. I'm not moved by that scene at all. I don't think it works. Well, I mean, I don't think it completely fails. I just don't think it succeeds in the way that most people seem to. I also don't agree with the moral of the overall moral of the film. I don't think it's correct. And film crit Hulks and let me back up a little bit. There's a movie called Colossal, I think it's called. It's about a woman who, for some reason, if she stands in a sandbox in a park at 8 in the morning, she manifests a Godzilla creature in Seoul, South Korea. And it's a movie about drug abuse, alcoholism, and how that can negatively be self-destructive, yes, but also negatively affect other people in tangible ways without you knowing or without you intending to. I really didn't like that movie. Neither did my sister. We saw it in the theater. And our dislike of the movie was so palpable that we don't talk during the movie, but both of us sensed that the other was having trouble sitting through this one. But what's interesting is we went home and then immediately got online and started reading reviews and opinion pieces about the movie. And we agreed with everyone's take on the film. We're like, "Yep, that's exactly the subtext of the film. That's exactly what I got out of it too." And I agree that is an absolutely masterfully executed and clever way to communicate those particular themes. The only place where my sister and I actually disagreed was in the fact that we enjoyed the movie. So we came away going, it's like, okay, we get it. We get the movie. We just don't like it. We just don't enjoy the film. Spidey Man Enter the Spideyverse is a little bit different in that I don't like the movie as much. I mean, I like the movie, I just don't like it that much. I've now read a lot of different perspectives and opinion pieces and stuff of Spider Verse over the 2 years, however long it's been out, and I just don't agree with some things. I've heard a lot of analysis on the "What's Up Danger" scene and why it works, and I just don't agree. I've heard a lot of analysis on the major theme of the movie and why it works, and yeah, I just don't agree, and that's why the movie I think does not work as well for me. Um, which is a shame because I wish I loved this movie like so many others do. I mean, now that said, I'm still gonna go see Spideyverse 2 whenever it comes out, or well, I'm probably not going anywhere to see it, but I would definitely watch the sequel. There was a lot I liked. I mean, overall, I liked the movie. I just didn't love it like I was hoping to, and like many others do. And I'll end on this. While I emphatically disagree with film crit Hulk and Tariq Musa and many other incredibly well accomplished critics who have opined uh, eloquently on their love for Spider Verse and why they love it and why it works. I still disagree with them, which means I'm wrong. I don't like being wrong, but you know, um, when everyone in the world says, no, this movie's really, really good and these themes line up perfectly and this works perfectly and I'm the lone voice going, no, I don't think that works. Yeah, I'm probably just wrong on this one. I mean, I'm certainly not wrong in the way I feel or the way I react to the movie, but my assertion that this doesn't work is, yeah, I think it's pretty safe to say that I'm just wrong on this one because if I'm not, that means everyone else is wrong and only I am correct in my analysis of Spider-Man Enter the Spider-Verse, which probably not. I think pretty damn highly of myself, but probably not. So, yeah, yeah. I rarely rewatch movies. I rarely reread books. I rarely replay video games. I'm much more inclined to rewatch a movie because it doesn't take as much time as, a 500-page novel or a 40-hour video game or whatever. Most movies, 2 hours and you can do it. It's fine. And I've thought to myself, I should watch Spideyverse again. Maybe I was just in a bad mood. Maybe I was just having an off day. Another movie I genuinely just didn't care for? Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Yeah, I'm that guy. I hate being that guy, but I am that guy. I remember watching the movie and thinking to myself, this seems like it would be right up my alley. This stupid humor seems like it would be something that would tickle my funny bone, but it's not. Why am I not enjoying this? This seems like something that would really work for me. Who knows? I've only seen it the one time, and maybe I was just having an off day. But I mean, at least I get all the Holy Grail references now. And maybe it's the same thing with Spideyverse. Maybe I was just having an off day, and maybe if I watched it again, it would click, and it would be like, I get it now. Okay, that totally works. I love it too. Joy! But I've never rewatched it because I'm lazy. And every time I think to myself, maybe I should rewatch it, I look at the runtime, which is a little over 2 hours, and I go, nah, no, no, nah, nah, no, no. But maybe someday. Maybe someday. So, I was thinking that I should put little extra life donate stuffs on the screen. Let me move that. I originally had it right here, and then I realized that the light behind me is blowing out the wall and makes it really hard to read. So I'm gonna have to put a backing on that for next week. So next week we'll probably see me advertising the Extra Life charity thing, which is on Saturday. It starts noon Pacific Standard Time, Saturday, November 7th. For those who don't know, as part of the Extra Life charity event, I'm playing video games for 24 hours straight to raise money for Rady Children's Hospital, which is the Children's Miracle Network Hospital here in San Diego. It's a lot of fun. Hope you'll join me. We've already raised $50. Thanks, Brian. Doing a lot of fun stuff this year. I had a video earlier this week talking about one of the incentives, which is if you donate $10, you can submit a Super Mario Maker 2 level for me to play on the stream. If you donate $50, you can submit an entire Super World for me to play. I've got some other cool stuff planned that I'll make videos about. Going to be playing Breath of the Wild. There's some other donation incentives where if we raise enough money, I'll play Ring Fit Adventure. Raise more money, I'll start strapping on weights. If we raise enough money, I'll play House of the Dead Overkill. What else? Oh, everyone who donates at least $50 is entered into a raffle to win a custom illustration from Lindy Lee, who does art commissions. So she donated one for us. So whoever wins gets to commission her to draw a picture of whoever you want. Samus is she recently commissioned a Zero Suit Samus, which is pretty cool. So lots of cool stuff. Look out for that. That starts at noon Pacific Standard Time on November 7th. It's a Saturday. Um, Programming note: I may have to cancel next weekend's podcast and Sunday stream. I don't know yet. Um, I have a thing that may happen, it may not happen, and if it happens, I may be busy. I don't know. It's one of those up in the air kind of things. So keep an eye on. I don't know. I'll put it on Twitter or Facebook or something. So also tomorrow's stream. It's been a busy week. I didn't have any time to play Trails from the Sky, so I think we'll just play some more Trails from the Sky again tomorrow, because I haven't had time to look up. Well, I did, but I fought Fatalis instead. Sue me. So we'll play some more Trails from the Sky tomorrow, and yeah, that's it. So that's the podcast. I hope you enjoyed my incessant whiny ramblings, and I hope that the Monster Hunter movie is really good. I genuinely do, because I like Monster Hunter, and I would like a good Monster Hunter movie, and I hope this is it. Ron Perlman's in it. How bad could it be? Okay, so that's it for me. Might finish the chapter. Well, I mean, we're just starting chapter 3, so unlikely, but yeah, we'll see. Unless it's a really short chapter, so yeah, that's it for me. I'm gonna eat dinner. So hope you all have a lovely night, and maybe I'll see you tomorrow for a video game stream. All right, take care, everyone. Good night.